In this video, we explain how to write solutions in essay form in Dr. Chang's course. The first thing you should do is to finish solving a problem or to make some progress. The rest of this instruction is about writing a complete solution in essay form. However, the principle can be used to write an incomplete solution as well. We can consider that as a progress report. To receive a good grade, one's work must be correct in terms of logical arguments and use of methods, whether it is complete or not. The course handbook and the video about homework explain some detailed instructions about writing solutions in essay form. Here, we will use sample writings to explain the format and the principle. In the xy plane, NL be the line given by 4x plus 6y plus 5 equal to 0. Find the point Q on line L, which is closest to P. The first principle you need to remember is that your solution must be grouped into paragraphs. And a paragraph must begin with an English sentence. This is the first paragraph. It is labeled P1, indicating that it is the first paragraph. You are welcome to use other symbols, such as bullets, that are convenient for a reader to understand when it begins and when it ends. However, often we make references to earlier work, so if paragraphs are labeled with numbers, it is convenient to make a reference. It begins with a sentence. The opening sentence of a paragraph explains setups, which include notation, drawing, and hypotheses. In this paragraph, we introduce a picture. Here is the second paragraph. The first sentence is not explaining a setup, but it tells us what is going to be done in that paragraph. The author is going to argue that the closest point Q forms a 90-degree angle. Rather than relying on intuition, the author is providing a reason. In fact, the most important merit we would like to accomplish by writing mathematics in essay form is to practice mathematical reasoning. Thus, whenever you are making a connection between two, re-examine the connection and determine whether it deserves an explanation. In this example, the two properties are a closest point and perpendicularity. This is the third paragraph. The author computes the slope of the line L and take the negative reciprocal of the slope due to its perpendicularity. Rather than doing all calculation and explaining later, the author inserts proper comments around detail work, helping the reader understand what is done and especially what the connection is between the things that are done. Let us emphasize here that it is important to add logical arguments in appropriate places. In that way, the reader and the author both can see the sequence of logical connection and determine or self-examine whether the argument is sound. If all the written parts come after computation, students have tendency to just summarize and not have an opportunity to re-examine whether their thinking is correct. This is the last paragraph. It begins with a logical connection rather than an instruction, such as, let's solve the system of equations. The kind of problems for which you are asked to write solutions in essay form require careful, creative, and independent thinking. So, do not look at these problems as a sequence of instructions that you have performed correctly, but as your own mathematical story, for each part of which you offer the reader logical and mathematical explanations.